Some people's lives was just so much better when you would just allow them to do whatever they wanted to do to you. When you would just go ahead and agree with people about things just so there would be peace in your environment. When you would just go ahead and go along with the flow, go along with the crowd, go along with what everybody else wanted you to do, people were so happy. But then suddenly life changed for you. God awakened you and you began to understand the very reason why you were created. See, when you awaken to your full potential in God, it causes chaos for other people. Because in most cases, the enemy will use those closest to you to keep you down so that the real you can never be found for you to find yourself. And the thing about it is, now that you've put your foot down, people are upset. They were so used to you being a pushover. They were so used to you allowing people to put you in an option slot and category. They were so used to you saying yes to this and yes to that. But then when you began to set boundaries, when you began to stand in your power, when you put your foot all the way down, now it's a problem. Well, I just want you to know that it's okay for you to take a stand for your life and what is best for you in your life. It's okay for you to dwell in the presence of God. It's okay for you to continue to go inward so that you can develop into the person that God knew that you was going to develop into anyway. And it's okay for you to put your foot down. So you shouldn't feel guilty. You shouldn't feel bothered. You shouldn't feel bad because people can't understand that you've set boundaries. Because I want you to know something. As long as you will allow people to run all over you, as long as you will always put your feelings on mute, as long as you always put your voice on mute, your purpose on mute, the enemy stays happy. But when you begin to really engage in your life, and when you begin to see the beauty in every day that God has created, when you begin to see the beauty in everything that you used to look at as a flaw in yourself, God would begin to perfect all those things and awaken you to a life that you didn't even know existed. So you put your foot down and it upset people in your family. You put your foot down and it upset your friends. You put your foot down and those around you don't like it because they were so used to controlling you. They were so used to you doing what they wanted you to do. They were so used to hurting your feelings and you just taking one for the team. They were so used for you being the yes man or the yes woman, and there you are, never living your dreams. They were so used to you just sitting back and allowing them to manipulate, to brainwash, to control and guilt trip you. Because I want you to understand something, that some people wanted to keep you in an option status while they go on and pursue the main romantic relationship. Then they wanted to give you what you call these pipe dreams. They wanted to sit you on the side. They wanted to put you on the back burner while they go ahead on and live things out. And then when they get upset with the person that they're in that main connection with, then they come running back to you as if you're some option, as if you're not important. But because you put your foot down and the last time they came back, you were nowhere to be found, they got a problem with that because they got used to you. They thought that you would always be there just to hold on to a pipe dream. No matter what they said, no matter what they did, they thought that you would always be the one just standing back there waiting, baby. And you got tired of waiting and you got to pursuing God. You got tired of waiting and you realized that you didn't have to wait anymore because you are the only choice. Come on, you are the main one. You are the chosen one because God chose you and you chose you. So therefore, you put your foot down on folks. You ain't doing what you used to do. You know your value, you know your worth, and you're walking 100% out into that right there. The glory of God is just radiating all around you. The glory of God is just living on the inside of you and speaking through you. You are changing your lives, changing lives. You're changing your mind. You're changing your regular things that you normally do. And because it don't involve other people, they mad about that because you put your foot down and put them in their places. And now that they're in their place, which is not in the number one place, you put God in the number one place. You in that number 2 place because God and you have to have this connection for the rest of eternity. And I want you to understand that the devil wanted to get in between you and God's relationship because he wanted you to be outside of the will of God. So I want to encourage you to continue to stand in your power. I want to encourage you to continue to keep the boundaries in place. I want to encourage you to continue to focus on the unseen things because that is the most important part of who you are. I say this all the time, that you entered into this space formless, honey, and you incubated inside of your mother so that you could be seen. So the most important part of who you are as a man and a woman of God is the unseen part of you that is divinely connected to our Father in heaven. I want to give you a word just real quick, okay? I want to give you a word for you. I want you to turn over to 2 Corinthians, or just read and meditate on this word today. 2 Corinthians 4:18. For it says, so we fix our eyes not on what is seen, but on what is unseen. Unseen things. Since what is seen or visible is temporary, that means that it's just brief or fleeting. But what is unseen, which is invisible, it's everlasting and imperishable. That means that it's enduring forever. That's eternal. See, what people wanted to do is they wanted to get into a position where they were the most important thing in your life. The enemy wanted to use people to put you in a position where you were always focused on things that you can touch, things that you can feel, things that you can see. He understands that the most important part, the magic part of you, the most spiritual part of you, is the part of you that is not seen. And because you have tapped into an unseen God, okay, you have tapped into the spirit of God. God has removed the blindfolders off of your eyes. Now you see things for what they really are, and people have a problem with you now because you've set boundaries and you're no longer allowing people to put you on the back burner, and you've started putting God and yourself in that relationship first. You are not going along with what everybody else went along with because it don't resonate in your spirit. It doesn't matter what everybody else does. It doesn't matter what everyone else did. The only thing that matters is what God is telling you to do. And because you put your foot down, hell is mad. Demons are upset. Demonic entities, monitoring spirit, and everybody that's attached to that gonna try to do everything they can to get you back into a position of somebody that has no power, back into a position of somebody who focuses on everything that they can see, back into a position where you'll go back to that bad, no good old person and continue to be an option, back in that position where you will begin to rely on and depend on people and not God. But I want to encourage you today to understand this, that you have taken a stand. Don't you go back. You continue to stand. If you have to stand by yourself on the promises of God. And you need to understand this, that you put your foot down because you found the miraculous part of this life in the spiritual unseen parts of the Most High. And they mad today because they can't do what they used to. And until the next video, guys, peace, because I still be believing in you. Bye now.